Right. And I like your sports psychologist idea, man. Get with Framber. See if you can get a twofer with the sports psychologist.
Yeah, whatever the deal is, it's not working right now. And I hate that it's become nerve-wracking whenever I see a ball hit to him.
Yeah.
Or even when he's still, the crazy thing is he still makes the crazy circus throws too. There's so many things about him that he's doing everything he's ever done. He looks lightning fast on the base paths. It's certainly not a lack of effort with Pena. He's one of the guys you point to. Is like, oh, you see, he always runs hard to first base no matter what. He's never just going to concede that it's an out. He does all those things the right way. And maybe somehow it's just some weird stretch of bad luck, but it feels like a lot more than that.
It's been all year. That's the thing. It's not a week. It's a whole year. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I know they're down. I'm hearing about Spillane keeping you on that, dropping $100 on Spencer Arrighetti throwing more than 5.5 strikeouts last night. Can't wait to hear this.
I saw that. I didn't.
That is easy money, and the odds are great. Go lock that in right now. Max bet Arrighetti over 5.5 Ks. He'll have it by probably the end of the fourth.
Put me 100 on it.
Got you, bro. Ron?
Where are you at, Ron?
Nice. He's bet enough for
I
a
know
while.
you like it.
Ron sitting there with his blonde hair from a lost bet. No, dude, I'm good. It was just Spencer Arrighetti struck out nobody last night. Lock of the month. I like Tyler putting himself out there like that, though, man. Like, that's bold. That's very bold. And I didn't think it sounded stupid at the time either. I'm like, yeah, Arrighetti's been striking out a lot of guys lately. They were on him last night, though, man. They were on Arrighetti last night.
Yeah, that look, Eric. I will defend Tyler Milner to the death. So if anybody for different things the NFL is trying to expand into and why they should or shouldn't be. I'm going to try to read this. Because somebody said shame on me, but our text system tends to chop these things up.
Yeah.
Listening to you two justify the horrible call of playing in Brazil is laughable. It's a dictatorship that just banned Twitter. Remember, we were talking about the personal safety.
Yeah.
At the very least, the NFL should be boycotting Brazil. Just tap dancing around the obvious. Shame on you, and don't insult and call names to those who won't virtue signal. My goodness, we live in reality. Not you. No. The comfort. I have people a little more scared of it than they should be.
Yeah.
100 and
as much as you do to the. I didn't know about this Twitter banning in Brazil. You saying it just now is news to me.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm okay down there. Okay,
I know it's a mess. I didn't know they banned Twitter.
Which was a conversation we weren't having because it wasn't relevant to the conversation.
Correct.
And should with your
argument storyline around the league as Week 1 unfolds is Michael Irvin weighed in on this yesterday, and Michael Irvin, I think, definitely an alpha wide receiver back in the day. That's an opinion I'll listen to on Stefon Diggs and how he mixes in with the Texans. We will have that for you coming up next.
We certainly will, Sean. We certainly will. Mokaram Law is, yeah.
Outstanding bill credits, end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Payne and Pendergast is driven by West Point Lincoln of Sugar Land on the Southwest Freeway. Exit Kirkwood and take the first U-turn at West Airport under the giant American flag.
Sports Radio 610 presents Payne and Pendergast.
A texter on here trying to ban Tyler Milner from Astros games. Can't do that. He's only banned from seeing the Texans, if I'm not mistaken. You can't ban him from everything. He had one bad bet yesterday, man. Guy's been pretty good at prop bets. A lot of people made a lot of money off of Tyler Milner's picks. Lay off. All right, Payne and Pendergast with you. Here was D'Amico Ryans on Monday talking about how excited he is about having Stefon Diggs on his football team.
Yeah, really excited about adding Stefon to our team. I mean, you talk about his influence. It's not just his influence on the receivers. It's just his influence on our entire team. Like, his competitive spirit, what he brings each and every day, like, it lights the fire in our entire team. So I'm very pleased with what he's done, the energy that he brings, and I'm excited to see him go do it in the regular season. But he's been a leader for us since the day he stepped on the field, and I'm very excited to see him continue to grow, continue to see him build, even better chemistry with his teammates.
Okay, I mean, the proof will be in how it plays out. So far, so good. We've had, to my knowledge, Seth, zero glitches with the Stefon thing, other than the visual that got a lot of people, likely in Buffalo and Minnesota, to point at the screen and go, see, look at how angry he is at C.J. Stroud. When in fact, I think it was just how the two of them communicate with each other. I don't think there was any anger going on.
That's just it didn't look any different than how they communicate in practice.
Right.
And you know what, right. Stefon, he mimes and shows the routes a lot and shows coverage and everything. And I think people interpreted that as somehow him emphatically arguing his point or something. It was weird. Weird but understandable, I guess. You watch it with your own filter and whatever preconceptions you have going into it. So people saw that and wanted to react to it a certain way. It looked exactly the same way that those guys talk out in practice about things. So a lot of it's just baffling to me on both sides of it. Stefon Diggs was fine in Buffalo for the first couple years. There was never a hint of trouble or what have you. There just wasn't. And then around about the playoffs 2 years ago, that's when he had a sideline eruption. There was some stuff on social media in the offseason. But we shouldn't be surprised, nor should Buffalo fans be skeptical that Stefon Diggs is getting along just fine with his teammates, because they saw the Buffalo fans were bragging about how great the relationship was between Stefon Diggs and Josh Allen for over 2 years up there. So this is honestly, I think, what most people should have expected that you were going to hear about Stefon Diggs. That he works his butt off. People up in Buffalo still say he works his butt off. However you want to paint him based on missteps, I would say I don't think he's handled his social media stuff all that well over the last couple years. I think that I would, no matter what the root cause of whatever disagreements there were up in Buffalo, I don't think Stefon Diggs handled that part of it well. But it's not our issue right now.
Right. Here was Michael Irvin yesterday on FS1. Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Cowboys, as we know. He is very bullish about the idea of Stefon Diggs as a Houston Texan and talks about the big reason he thought Diggs may have dropped off in 2023.
You guys, when he said the energy he brings is not just great for the offense, it's great for the whole football team. He's saying we brought him in here to show our young guys how to prepare, how to get ready. And Diggs has always been like this. I got a chance to spend some time with him in Miami, and he is a leader. He wants that role. Mm-hmm. He wants that role. Now, the great thing is, this is the right place for him for right now. We know how he started in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. We know how he started in Buffalo. He had an incredible start in Buffalo. I mean, putting up 100 reception seasons every year, but fell off last year. 1 to 12, weeks 1 to 12, he had 121 targets. 13-18, only 39 targets. Key, you know how hot you would have been if that change happened? on that football team when you were on that football team. 121 targets from weeks 1 to 12.
We wouldn't have got there.
It wouldn't have gotten that bad.
It wouldn't have gotten that bad
because that's a huge drop-off.
We're going to address that immediately.
That's a huge drop-off.
Okay, that other voice you heard, I should have laid that out at the end, was Keyshawn Johnson. So Key, who he's talking to, is Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah, who himself, I mean, he had a book called "Give Me the Damn Ball." Like, Key would not have handled the Diggs situation well last year.
No. He would insult his current teammates at the time, for the sake of making a point. It was, he was not. Keyshawn Johnson was an extreme version of like some of the bad behavior by wide receivers.
Yeah.
This is one of the part that makes me uncomfortable with Stefon Diggs, though, too. It's when people will frame it as, like, he just really, really wants to win. That's all. Like, as if the only way to want to win is to have eruptions and sideline explode. There's plenty of people who really, really, really want to win who don't necessarily go about it the same way. So I do think Stefon Diggs could handle the discord better at times, but it's a moot point if the underlying issues aren't there. Right. And I do think that, man, like Sean McDermott, I don't think is wired the same way D'Amico Ryans. I think Sean McDermott is limited in some ways in the way he handles his players and just the culture he's created up there. And not to excuse, again, any of the way that Stefon Diggs is acted. But I think the biggest mistake people are making, because we don't, like, it's all soap opera stuff with that. Like, nobody knows if he said, she said, et cetera. On the actual football side of things, the biggest mistake that people continually make is looking at the box score and thinking that tells the picture of Stefon Diggs' drop-off last year. It was very much tied to Joe Brady making a change in the offense that ultimately I think was they were trying to take the security. They were trying to take his blankie away. Like he was just like we saw with Deshaun Watson as a young quarterback, just like forcing the ball to the number one guy. And they had to fix it. They should have thrown the ball to just kind of janky, even though it was just